Hi everyone, welcome into Siren Records Monterey. It's Fresh Catch Friday, and hello if you're new here. This is a channel where we talk about some of the new releases, reissues, and represses that came out for the week or within the last couple of weeks anyway, and have just trickled in. So if you like to hear or talk about the new vinyl releases, then this is your place, and I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button down below and join us every week, and you'll get notified every time there's an upload on Fridays for new releases. Anyway, there's like not a huge pile this week. I'm trying to keep it low so that we can just get through a few things. And the list will be posted down below in kind of an alphabetical order, and you can see the prices there, and you can also kind of see where we're going. I'm not going to talk about everything on the list. Like I said, I think I'm still missing a box that's not open yet, and I just want to get going. I'm not going to wait for them, as you can imagine. This is the week before Christmas, and it's there's a ton of stuff to do. So I'm just kind of giving you some highlights here, and I don't know when we're going to be able to get back to normal. It's so crazy right now. But, okay, so pick of the week is where we usually start. And as it's getting closer to the end of the year, there's not that many exciting new releases or new things coming out. It's kind of a lot of reissues you'll see. And that's okay, because we like when old things that we haven't been able to get our hands on come back into print and things like that. So I'm going to start with my pick of the week for you, and it is from the birthday party, and it's called Junkyard, and this is on the Drastic Plastic label. Now, it was originally released in 1982, and it's the birthday party's final full-length studio album, and this is considered to be one of the most influential albums of the post-punk revival of the early 1980s. This is their second and final full-length, full studio album, so it's also the final release with the 5-person lineup, which was perhaps, it's like, it's just like their scuzzy masterpiece, I guess you could say. It's like it's got art psych blues funk fusion, and it's taken to outrageous heights on this record. And none of them there goes the motorcycle again. It's every time, isn't it? Amazing. So anyway, Nick Cave, of course, has. We'll let them have their moment. Nick Cave has his great vocals on this, just roaring, and he inspires the rest of the band to, just not hold anything back. And this album is just it's a ripper, you should say, because it's they've all got this rhythm and blues and funk into this like blood-soaked cabaret exorcism kind of thing going on here. It's nearly every tune is a classic in one way or another. Now, this is on 140-gram purple with blue splatter vinyl, and yes, it's it should be in everybody's collection. It's great stuff. So that's my pick for you this week. And moving on from there, we're going to start out with some reissues of. You know what I was hoping to talk to you about. I don't have it yet. It's not out of the box. But also today, Panda Bear's Person Pitch on Domino is back out on a reissue. Now, that was the third solo album from Panda Bear, and it was originally released in 2007. It was his long-awaited third solo album, and years in the making, and it was a departure from his previous solo record that was called Young Prayer. The acoustic instruments of Young Prayer were replaced with samplers and electronics. It's a really interesting album. I just don't have it here to show you, but that's also back out today. And it would have been a second pick for me had I had one to hand. All right, so the next up, there's Angels and Airwaves. It's an American rock band that comprised of Tom DeLonge, David Kennedy, Ian Rubin, and Mac Rubano. They formed after Blink 1982 went on a hiatus in 2005, and they continued to record after Blink 182 reunited in 2009, and then after Tom DeLonge subsequently parted with the band again in 2015. He began to focus on Angels and Airwaves more extensively, but to date, the band has released 6 studio albums, but I have 5 reissues here to show you today, and we'll go from there. This first one is called Chasing Shadows, and these are all on Rise Records, that label, okay? And this is It's an excellent EP from Angels and Airwaves. It features songs that may one day be considered some of the best in their discography, I think. This is an indie exclusive on Canary Yellow vinyl, and it's just 4 songs, two songs per side. It's a nice EP. Now, after that, I have for you The Dreamwalker, and this is a change of pace for Angels and Airwaves. They've kind of fashioned this bizarre apocalyptic story of Poet Anderson, who has a personal dreamwalker to protect him from a world of ruin. As the Wolf Pack suggests. Ruben, that is the drummer from old Nine Inch Nails, and he pushes the music closer to a densely processed, hard-edged Nine Inch Nails kind of feel on this one. It doesn't really reach that stratosphere, but Nine Inch Nails fans they should enjoy it. It's kind of lands somewhere in between Nine Inch Nails and Hypnotic Side of Pink Floyd on a couple of tracks. The storyline is not for the squeamish, but the music often has some real exhilarating power to it. This is the indie exclusive, and it is on spring green vinyl. And, these are telling you on the sticker what they are for once, which is nice. The next one is Love Part 1, and this is a concept album that traces different meanings of the word through sonic orchestrations that touch on the many different elements that are inherent in the most elusive human emotion. Anyway, I think this one's a double, yeah, and it's on olive green vinyl. That tells you there, okay? That's the concept album. Then we are back to, see, there goes my vinyl spilling over again. I got to keep an eye on that every second, don't I? Every time. God, I don't know what to do about that. I need to make myself some kind of a mechanism that just holds everything still instead of these towers of packing tape, which I like to use, but God, they just don't work sometimes. Anyway, this is Of Nightmares, and this EP kind of continues the foray into a slightly darker, more experimental sound that they flirted with on their first EP and really dove headfirst into with their full-length The Dreamwalker. This is the indie exclusive, and it is on neon pink vinyl. Okay, and then lastly for them, we have this one that is Stomping the Phantom Brake Pedal. And they reached the sound here that I guess they've always kind of been aiming for. It may be the complete realization of the group's or Tom DeLonge's ambition. It also may be that they finally listened to their critiques and kind of pulled it in. This is the indie exclusive on clear vinyl, all right? And this is an odd little thing here. This is BTS, RM Indigo, and this is on Big Hit Music. Okay, the first solo album, Indigo, by RM of BTS, is officially here. Indigo includes different tracks in collaboration with various artists that portray RM's prevailing thoughts. Contents of the album include a CD envelope, outbox. I don't know what an outbox is. I have no idea. A booklet, postcard, photo card, a random one out of 3, a fabric card, and an instant photo and poster. That's like, I don't really even know what a lot of that means, but anyway, this is BTS. That's the kind of K-pop Korean boy band, right? And it's one of the guys from there. So anyway, it's a CD. We don't normally talk about CDs, but it's here. We have it. So I thought I would mention it. Now, next up, this is a crazy thing. This is the Bo Burnham Inside. You remember he had that thing? Well, now it's Inside Deluxe box set. And this is on the Bo Burnham Imperial label. It's brand new, strictly limited edition, black triple vinyl box set. It's the complete Inside collection, totaling 46 tracks, containing the original 20 songs from the Grammy and Emmy award-winning special that he did, 13 tracks from the Inside Outtakes, and 13 score tracks, all housed in this stunning box, including 3 dual-cover LP jackets with printed inner sleeves and individual RGB, what the hell does that mean? Red, green, and blue. And it shows you here. I'll give you a closer look at that. So yeah, these it printed inner sleeve and individual RGB translucent outer sleeves. It also includes a beautiful 24-page lyric book, a 12 by 12 art card, and 3 inside window clings. I don't know what you need with a Bo Burnham window cling, let alone 3, but this is for the purist, the person that's like way into it. So that is here. See what I mean? It's like a new release, but it's still not like new material. It's a lot of that kind of stuff. This is a very cool thing. This is Ron Carter finding. Stay up. Now both of them are down. God. Oh. Forgive me. It's very busy and I'm tired and I'm not I'm not doing this very well. All right, Ron Carter, Finding the Right Notes. This is on the In and Out Records label. Nothing to do with the fast food place. But so on October 21st, America's PBS channel screened a 2-hour documentary about the life and work of Ron Carter, titled Finding the Right Notes. 73 minutes. It's the soundtrack, and it's a beauty. It's rolled around in a feast of Carter's inimitable, sumptuous bass. There's a really nice photo of him on the cover with his stand-up bass there. So the 10 tracks recorded between 2014 and 2021 in Europe and America has Carter in situations ranging from duos to a big band playing jazz standards and songs from the Great American Songbook and his own compositions. 1 track was recorded at the Newport Jazz Festival, 3 at the WDR studio in Cologne, and 2 in European concert halls and in New York, 2 at the Blue Note, 1 at Harlem Jazz Museum, and 1 at the Power Station studio. So the LP has a bonus song that's not on the CD, and it's called Nearly, and it's actually like over 13 minutes long, so it's like a nice bonus track there. And it features Ron Carter's touring band featuring Renee Roseness, Jimmy Green, and Peyton Crossley. So this is the limited audiophile signature edition that they call this, and what that means is the first 750 copies of this LP are numbered and autographed by Ron Carter. So after those 750 are gone, the LPs will not include this bonus feature, so first come, first serve, and this is what it looks like. There he has signed it, and there it's numbered, and that's what the signature edition looks like. Okay, so yeah, it's a really, really nice piece. I think we only got 1 of those, so somebody better grab it. Okay, this is Julian Chang. It's called The Sale. It's on the Transgressive label. Baltimore's Julian Chang writes music that tunnels toward a series of deeper truths, investigating everyday existentialism. That's pretty lofty. Love, life, and art. And his second album here, The Sale, testifies to his talents as he wrestles with enviable grace across his new 12-track catalog here, the idea of estrangement and how problematic artistic creation can be. He leans sonically into indie pop with guitar-driven instrumentation across punchy drums and his layered ethereal vocals on top of that. So the album is still replete with touchstones of the psychedelic pop craft that kind of enamored his listeners on his debut record. All right, next up. This is a reissue of The Cribs. This is on the Sonic Blue label. This was the debut studio album from this British indie rock band, released originally in 2004. It was recorded in 7 days in the mid to late 2003 at London's Toe Rag Studios. It's a vintage-styled 8-track studio in the Hackney area. Anyway, the Cribs offer a melodic and raw dose of indie punk to the ears of their listeners. The song's melodies are addictively catchy and hard to forget. The lyrics tell the story of love, lust, heartbreak, frustration, betrayal, and loneliness, and they include a healthy dose of sarcasm, sensitivity, and wit. So, this is on pink vinyl, and it says that on the sticker here, okay? Next up, we have Crumbsuckers, Beast on My Back from Century Media Legacy. Now, this is New York hardcore legends Crumbsuckers. They're at once the most overlooked and the most pivotal of all hardcore metal crossoverists, okay? While not held in the same regard as the CBGB's Born Vets like Agnostic Front or Cro-Mags, Crumbsuckers were a force unto themselves. Their 1986 debut, Life of Dreams, is a classic of the genre, but it was with Beast on My Back, originally issued by Combat in 1988, that they bridged their trademark aggression with a new sense of technically and musical fluidity. This is the indie exclusive on blue vinyl, and it is limited to 500 copies. And it does tell you that it's blue vinyl there on the sticker as well. Okay, and as if you didn't have enough with Angels and Airwaves, here he is again, Tom DeLonge, To the Stars, Demos, Odds and Ends. This is also on from Rise Records. The debut studio album by Tom DeLonge. It was released in 2015 through DeLonge's multimedia company that was also titled To the Stars. It's a mix of nostalgia, like sweepingly memorable choruses, and the morning of what could have been. And so while there are definitely songs that were meant for Blink 182, this To the Stars isn't what people expect it to be. These songs weren't ready to be released and rushed out, after the news that Tom was no longer a part of Blink 182. So when or if they'd have ever actually been released is up for debate, but that for a release that was for all intents and purposes slapped together in 2 months, To the Stars is one of the better releases of Tom DeLonge that he put out. So this is the indie exclusive, and it is on lemonade colored vinyl. Okay, now this one here is Devastation, and this is Idolatry through Century Media Legacy. So formed in 1986, Devastation, they're from Corpus Christi, Texas. They kind of forged a sizable reputation, winning over crowds, and they shared stages with the likes of Sepultura, Dark Angel, and Demolition Hammer. Idolatry sports more than just standard thrash metal. The over-the-top riffing on this and the spastic soloing is there, but the band also leans hard towards a death metal style similar to the old school scene, with vocals bordering on insanity and this wall of guitars that just never lets up. So saying that this album is heavy may be kind of an understatement, and this album is not geared towards the casual metal fan. Idolatry may be a grueling experience for some due to this never let up approach that they take on this record. There's absolutely no variation from the thrash death metal style, and the album roars at you from start to finish. So this is the indie exclusive. It's on red vinyl, and it is limited to 300 copies. Okay, next up we have Freddie Hubbard, Red Clay. This is through Audio Clarity. So before Freddie Hubbard signed with CTI Records in 1970, he was already considered one of the most brilliant jazz trumpeters in the world. So Red Clay, his debut album on the label, is an exceptional set of plugged-in hard bop fused with funk. And it's reportedly the album that he considers his best. So joining him on 5 of the 6 cuts, it's a crack quintet featuring longtime colleagues Joe Henderson and Herbie Hancock on tenor, saxophone, and keyboards respectively. And the final number is a previously unissued extended live jam on the title tune. It finds Hubbard fronting an all-star septet that includes such fellow CTI stars as George Benson and Stanley Turrentine. So that is a special piece. Next up, this is odd. This is Julian Lennon, Imagine, featuring Nuno Betancourt. This is on the BMG Rights Management label. Julian Lennon's first recording of his father John's 1971 hit, Imagine. Oh, excuse me. I'm talking too much. Okay, so it's Imagine, which he previously was opposed to ever record his father's legendary song. So he performed Imagine for the first time in support of Stand Up for Ukraine in April of 2022. It's Imagine on the A side and an etching on the B side, and features Nuno Betancourt, which you may recognize that name. He was the guitar player, kind of best known for the band he was in, Extreme. Also known for being, a hot shit guitar player. That's his thing. But I think most people would recognize him from that. Okay, next up, this is Maluma, and this is 1111 on Sony Import. Now, Maluma is a Colombian singer, songwriter, and actor. Born and raised in Medellin, he developed an interest in music at a young age, recording songs since age 16. So 1111 is the fourth studio album, originally released in 2019. And at 16 tracks, it's definitely a little long, but there's no denying that he can create a mood that suits his persona every bit as effectively as somebody like Drake does. It's stylish and sexy, and it's right on trend. And he's got a lot of guests on this, but of course, most notably, and also getting Madonna on the song Soltera was a great idea and definitely one of the album's shining moments. So it's 2 LPs on 150-gram neon yellow vinyl. And this one is Maluma. It's Papi Wancho. And this is also Sony Import. Now, this is the fifth studio album. I think that there's actually like 5 Maluma reissues this week. I'm just doing 2 because, you get the point, right? I'm getting to where I have like ninja type reflexes now when I see that out of the side of my eye getting ready to dump. Okay, the fifth studio album. This was surprise released in 2020, but it was kind of been dismissed by a lot of critics as being overtly sexual and loaded with these immature chauvinistic quips. It was a major departure from the rich romantic storytelling that was found on his previous releases. Now, he says it was an alter ego character that was developed in quarantine, but the lyrics are really pretty shallow. It's like I was looking at some translation from it, and it's not that great. 2 LPs on 150-gram pink vinyl. So I guess that he's also has a movie coming out that he's starring in with Jennifer Lopez. Something like, I think it's called Marry Me or something like that. Well, anyway, so the thing about him is he's kind of like hitched his wagon to a lot of important females. Like he first started out, he kind of got he hitched his wagon to Shakira, and she brought him on board for something. And then, like I said, bringing Madonna in on one of the songs from 1111. And now he's sort of hooked up there with Jennifer Lopez to, kind of break into the American market with acting. So I don't know, for some of the chauvinistic lyrics on that Papi Wancho, this guy, like I said, he's kind of dependent on powerful women to some degree. It's interesting. Like I said, it's just kind of a juxtaposition for that. So, okay. Next up. Okay, this is MXM Tune Rising. I don't even know how to say that properly. It's MXM Tune. Mixum Tune, I don't know. But anyway, it's on that label as well. So at 21, MXM Tune stands tall as one of the brightest and most engaging voices of her generation. This is her sophomore album. She is Oakland-raised, Brooklyn-based, and she's known for her dreamy pop and introspective lyricism. The album is a new chapter. It's an evolution of the sound that launched her career 5 years ago, but with more mature and complex lens looking through, featuring singles Mona Lisa, Sad Disco, Victim of Nostalgia. Anyway, it represents the culmination of a trilogy that also includes Dawn and Dusk, the dual EPs she released in 2020. This is the standard edition, but it is released on opaque purple vinyl, and it does not say that anywhere, but that's the standard issue, so it just comes that way. Okay, this is Onslaught, Generation Antichrist, and this is on AFM Records. Onslaught celebrate the 40th anniversary. With such a long band history, there has to be a big celebration. So today on the gift table, a new color vinyl, color for this hyper album, Generation Antichrist, only 2 years old, but already the most successful album for the band's history. So no matter what may have changed in the House of Onslaught in the last 40 years, the Brits have remained 100% true to their style with Generation Antichrist, the guys from Bristol, deliver a straight, picture-perfect thrash metal album without frills or experiments. And for fans of Slayer, Sodom, Creator, Metallica, that kind of stuff, you're going to like this too. This is on red vinyl for the anniversary. Okay, next up is Pool Kids. This is called Skeletal Lightning, and this fuses math rock and art rock with a kind of emotional and technical growth, and kind of just engulfs the listener in a wave of this impassioned indie rock angst. And that's just on straight up black vinyl. And this is a reissue. This is Sage Francis, Personal Journals, on Strange Famous Records. So this is the first solo studio album by the American rapper Sage Francis. It was originally released in 2002, so he's known for his thought-provoking lyrics and intensity, and each and every track on Personal Journals is delivered with this intense flow of near confrontational style. It's his fierce delivery that kind of sees him being embraced also in the punk community. It will definitely be an acquired taste for some of you, but it will come as a welcome respite for any hip-hop head wondering if MCs had anything interesting to say back in these days. So he lays it all bare on Personal Journals with this evident conviction. It's the 20th anniversary, 2 LPs, and they're calling this galaxy-splattered colored vinyl. That doesn't mean anything to me. I don't know what galaxy splatter is supposed to look like. You should insert the name of a color of some kind. Give us a clue. It includes a full-size 16-page lyric book featuring never-before-seen photos as well. And it will tell you that here it's 2 LPs. It just says colored vinyl. Thanks. That's informative. All right. This is the Shut-Ups, not the Shut-Ups, just Shut-Ups. I can't eat nearly as much as I want to vomit. And this is on Kill Rock Stars. So they're Oakland noise punks, and they could be effectively described as a group with an anti-establishment California indie punks with a vested interest in encouraging capitalism's implosion. So leaving it there would also be a disservice to the deliberation, complexity, and artistry of their music. The group's new album here, it holds true to the distinctive niches that they've carved out to begin with. From bedroom pandemic production to post-isolation DIY maximalism. I can't eat nearly as much as I want to vomit presents a very human expression of reality in spite of what is overwhelmingly a bad time, serving us a sort of seething Technicolor alternative sound that's both intimate, furious, and arguably cool on Coke bottle clear vinyl. I like that Kill Rock Stars label. They do have a lot of interesting bands on there. Sigur Rós, and this is the third album of theirs, and it's just, it doesn't have a name. It's just these parentheses is how it's described. It's on the Crunk label. So they're an Icelandic post-rock band from Reykjavik. I think that's where Björk comes from, in Iceland. They've been active since 1994. This was the remastered 20th anniversary edition of Parentheses. It's their celebrated third album, and for many people, especially in the U.S. here, where it remains their biggest selling work, the most quintessentially Sigur Rós record to their career to date. It's the only album where Jonesy sings entirely in the wordless lyrics of the Hopelandic language. This desire to elude meaning and allow the listener to bring their own interpretation to the music. It extends to the 8 songs, all of which are nameless. The music is broadly split into 2 halves, dividing by a critical 30 seconds of silence. So the first half of the album is lighter and more optimistic. The second is bleaker and more melancholic, culminating in this thundering climax of Untitled number 8, the closing song of every Sigur Rós show since the song was written in 2000. So this is on 180-gram heavyweight vinyl and the 20th anniversary. All right. Then we have the new Broadway cast of Chicago the Musical from 1997. 2 LPs. This is on Masterworks Broadway, celebrates over 25 years and over 10,000 Broadway performances of the 1996 revival of Kander and Ebb's Chicago, with this exclusive reissue with a 4-panel folded insert, winner of the Tony Award for the Best Revival of a Musical. The cast recording features the iconic Tony winners Anne Reinking, Bebe Neuwirth, James Naughton, and Joel Grey. This is on elegant deep red marble vinyl, and it's a double, right? Okay, this is an interesting piece here. This is the soundtrack to Gravity Falls on Walt Disney Records. Now, this Gravity Falls is an American mystery comedy animated television series created by Alex Hirsch for the Disney Channel. The series follows the adventures of Dipper Pines and his twin sister Mabel, who are sent to spend the summer with their great uncle, Uncle Stan, in Gravity Falls, Oregon, a mysterious town full of paranormal incidents and supernatural creatures. Now, this is a double LP, and it's on what they're calling decoder red vinyl. The vinyl itself can be used to uncover secrets on each side of the inserts. Like this has, it's a whole package deal. And I think, if you watch the show, maybe you can like nerd out and figure out how to do it. There's very little information about this. I think you just have to be in the know to get what's going on. But anyway, here for you now. All right, next up, this is Danny Elfman, the Spider-Man score, and this is through Sony Classical. The original soundtrack to Spider-Man film that, started it all, now available for the first time ever on vinyl. Danny Elfman's 2002 Spider-Man score features music composed for the first installments of Sam Ramis' Spider-Man trilogy, starring Tobey Maguire alongside William Dafoe, Kristen Dunst, and James Franco, conducted by Pete Anthony, and opening with Elfman's iconic main title theme. The high-flying orchestral score soars alongside Peter Parker's heroic origin story, including fan-favorite tracks such as the menacing parade attack and Spectre of the Goblin, as well as the triumphant farewell, end credits, themes, and more. Yeah, those end credits. Great. The Spider-Man 20th anniversary vinyl release comes pressed on 180-gram black vinyl, housed in a soft touch gatefold jacket. It has that little bit of feeling of embossed everywhere that there's a web on his gloves and stuff like that. Yeah, I guess you can kind of see it in the camera. It's kind of hard to tell. But anyway, it's got UV spot gloss. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. Two-sided poster insert and imprinted Euro sleeve featuring the original film photography. Okay? And this is Julia Stone. It's called Everything is Christmas, and this is through BMG Rights Management Australia. So following the success of last year's 4-track EP, Everything is Christmas, she's recorded even more of her favorite holiday songs to celebrate the best time of the year. Produced by Thomas Bartlett and Julia Stone, the album features classics like All I Want for Christmas Is You, It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas, Away in a Manger, and more. So this is limited edition on white vinyl. And you may know her more. She records with her brother, Angus and Julia Stone. They have had a lot of success together. And also Angus Stone, his other band is Dope Lemon, who I know we've talked about a lot. But anyway, this is Julia stepping out on her own, and she's doing Christmas songs on white vinyl. Okay, next up is Third Eye Blind, Unplugged. This is Mega Collider Records. It's an acoustic album by the alternative rock band Third Eye Blind. Rather than reimagine their debut record in its entirety, the band opted for a mix of different tracks. Several songs from their self-titled LP appear alongside cuts from Dopamine, Out of the Vein, and Blue, among others. So I don't know how many. It feels like a double, but it's not really saying, so I'm not sure. And there's no track listing on the back, so I can't count them for you either. All right, now we have Trico, and this is called And on Top Shelf Records. I like the way, they've spelled out and with their hair. That's kind of cool. They're a Japanese rock band from Kyoto. The band was formed in 2010, known for their intricate rhythms and visual identity. They have released 6 full-length albums, studio albums. It's like math rock, post-punk, indie rock, Japanese rock. They play complex jumbled rock with intertwining guitar parts and time signature shifts. The vocalist's very sweet and expressive voice gives them a pop sensibility and some emotional heft. Trico, they're a niche band, especially outside of Japan, but they're making incredible music right now. They're cramming virtuoso playing, personality, and hooks into succinct songs. And this is on brown in tan vinyl, and it does tell you that on the sticker. All right, and then also in addition to that, we have their first album. This is the band is Trico, and this is called their first album released on their own label, which was Bakuretsu Records. It has a higher density of great riffs and musical ideas than any other Trico album. It's often a fan favorite, and it's their rawest album. Dry production that separates the instruments is a feature of all of their records, but it's especially pronounced on here. And this is on brown and cream, again, Galaxy vinyl that I don't know what that means, but it does tell you the color here on the sticker. Okay. This is various artists. The Sacred Bones presents Yahweh, and it's on the Sacred Bones label. So they've curated an LP of original Yahweh 13 and Father Yod and the Spirit of 76, the musical projects of the iconic spiritual commune Brotherhood of the Source. Music from their rich and prolific recording history. For those not familiar with Yahweh, 13 was formed in 1973. They're regarded as one of the most extreme, groundbreaking, and influential psychedelic rock bands in history. And this is on gold vinyl, and it tells you that right there where the little gold bar is, okay? So that is the sampling that I have for you. Oh, you know what? No, I had one other thing I wanted. Now, this is not new, but if you're a local, if you're around and you need like a stocking stuffer or something, this is just such a great deal. I had to show it to you. This is various artists now 100 hits Christmas, and you get 5 CDs, and it's like $6.99. It's like, it's got like pretty much everything. So if you're, kind of shy on the Christmas music and you just want to grab something that's going to kind of cover it all, this is a really great deal. Now, we do sell this on our eBay platform, which is just all lowercase Siren Records with no break in between, and that's how you can find us. Or you could just probably type in now 100 hits Christmas CD and find us that way too. But I just thought that was worth a mention because it's just like such an incredibly good deal. So anyway, we are, believe it or not, heading into Christmas now with 10 days away or something. I don't know about you, but December has just like blown by so fast. I truly can't believe it. Anyway, and the store is very busy right now, as you can imagine. Lots of last minute gift giving and all that stuff. And so, if you're local, please do come by and see us. We have gift cards, so you can get those if you don't know what to get for your lucky recipient if they are, if you're getting them some music. Okay, so everybody, I hope you're having a great week, and we're all heading into the weekend now, which is always so nice. And I hope there was something here that kind of piqued your interest. If nothing else, every collection needs a birthday party Junkyard album, and it's just so nice. And like I said, it's on the kind of lavendery purple, but it's got the blue splotches in it. It's a good looking 140 gram album. So okay, thanks. I will see you next time. And yeah, that's going to be something like right before Christmas, right? I guess so. Next Friday. Yeah. Okay, there's probably not going to be a lot of new releases to talk about, but either way, I'll just give you the short list and jump on and say ho ho ho. Okay, I'll see you then. Bye.